Hi, it's Tanya, and it's Talk About It Tuesday. And so today's topic is the people have spoken. And when the people have spoken, how do you take their information and move forward? What we teach our children is that, when they're participating in pee-wee sports or as they're participating in high school, is that sometimes you lose, but most of the time you learn. So take a loss as a learning opportunity to be able to do better, to be able to enhance your skills, or to figure out what you did wrong, and so the next time you can do better. I'm going to share with you one time about I was in a area Toastmasters competition, and I did this speech that I felt was over the moon. It was a correlation between over the rainbow and my military service, and how the joy was in the journey, and how I learned and I grew through the journey. And I had, posters with words and pictures that tied things in. I was very dramatic. I brought that speech to life that evening. And so as I waited for the judges to tabulate the scores against these two other speakers who in their own right did a great job, but at that moment I felt like, wow, finally I've done a speech where I can say I feel like I deserve first place. I felt like it went that well. I never ever had I felt that way, but that evening I felt that, wow, that speech was something. I sung a little piece, and I don't sing in front of people, not like that really, but when I tell you that speech was, I think, over the rainbow, just talking about if the bluebirds could fly, then why can't I? It was about getting through the journey of being a Marine and getting to the other side where, everything was completed. Kind of like the speech competition. The judges deliberated and came back, and they did their announcements, and they announced third place, and they didn't say my name, and I was like, yes. Then they announced second place, and they said Tanya Nero, and I was like, yay. But in my spirit I was like, how the heck I get a second place? Tonight I did good. I looked at the girl that I knew had won first place, and if my looks could speak, ooh, I would hate to have been on the receiving end of the look that I had to have given her. And so I was a little salted and wounded because I felt like, I had won. But the people had spoken. The judges had tabulated the results, and they had decided that she was the winner. And I was salty, and I took my medal, and I congratulated her and congratulated the third place winner. And I was like fuming and trying to keep it together and trying to stay composed. But inside, I was like, how she beat me? Like, somebody need to explain to me how her speech was better than mine. But there is no resolve. There is no breakdown on what the points were. It was just that they selected her over me. So there it is. But I do remember one of her club members had made me have an epiphany that evening. He came over and he said, congratulations, your speech was amazing, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, thank you. And he was like, oh, what's the matter? I was like, I just felt that my speech was better and I should have won. And he just really directly said to me, is it really about the winning, or is it about you becoming a better speaker? And I was like, oh my. Well, both, because I put my best foot forward because I want to win. I don't show up to lose for anything, ever, never, ever. But what I took away from that is that even sometimes when you bring your best foot forward, the first place doesn't go to you. And the lesson becomes, how do you move forward from what you feel like is rejection? And you go through the emotions of, wow, anger, grief, and you have to come to a point to where you're saying, okay, the people have spoken, they didn't choose me, but how do I move forward? So I continue to just work on becoming a better speaker and being able to become do better and get over the rejection. It was hard, but I just poured myself into doing more speeches, and I don't think I did another competition, but I began to work with other speakers on how to, step outside of the box, outside of their comfort zone, and be able to be better. So when the people have spoken, the lesson is on the other side of how do you move forward and how do you not lose your joy in a rejection. We continue and we have taught our kids that the lesson in life is that if you bring everything to the table, if you put everything on the field and you give it 110% and you lose, there's nothing to be sad about because you brought everything that you were supposed to. You've done everything that you could possibly do in order to win, to get the win, to get the promotion, to get the advancement, to get the medal. And it just didn't happen for you that day. So when the people have spoken, it doesn't mean that you're not good enough. It just means that it's not your time right now. They're not selecting you right now. And sometimes that is a blessing in disguise. So having to be humble and finding humility in a loss is a skill that I would say is very, very important to learn. So this has been Tanya with Talk About It Tuesday. When the people have spoken, learn to move on and to let go. Have a great day. Enjoy the rest of your week. I know that the next couple of days are going to be quite eventful, but I do look forward to speaking with you again next week.